Hey, thanks for dropping in. So today I'm going back to my roots with a dish that I ate a lot growing up. In fact, my mom probably made this dish once a week for 20 plus years. It's picadillo, and we're going to make it right after the intro. Let's go. All right, first, to avoid any confusion, I want to clarify that we're going to be making Filipino-style picadillo. There are actually many variations of picadillo, depending on where in the world you are, but my family's Filipino, so that's what we're going with. We'll get around to the actual cooking as soon as I finish this prep. Okay, so what I love about this dish, aside from it's delicious, is that it's really easy to make and only requires one pan, or wok in this case. As you can see, there's some water simmering in it. We're going to add a bit of veg oil, then drop our ground beef right in. Now, you might be wondering why we're boiling beef when we're eventually going to fry it. The reason is this allows us to get in there and really break up the meat, make it nice and uniform so that we don't end up with uneven, pebbly bits of beef in our picadillo. This is something I also do when making meat sauce for pasta. By the way, this is my own thing, so Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry. We're going to keep at this until all the water's evaporated and the meat starts frying. Our beef's looking pretty good now. The remaining liquid is fat, which we'll need to keep frying so the onion and garlic can go in. It might look like a lot of onion in there, but it'll almost melt away as we cook. You'll see. These only need a couple of minutes to turn aromatic. Now we can hit our picadillo with some tomato paste. We're going to let this fry until the paste dries out a bit. That'll really help deepen the flavor. Alright, it's time to add our veg. So that's potato and carrot, cut so that they're roughly the same size, which means they'll cook in roughly the same amount of time. It's up to you if you want to, but I didn't bother peeling either. It's not going to be noticeable in the final dish, plus there's a lot of nutrients in those peels. Why waste them? We've given our veg a head start. It's time to add a tablespoon or so of fish sauce. That'll give our picadillo that authentic Filipino flavor. We'll give that a few seconds to absorb. You might want to have your oven vent going for this step. Next, we'll add a can of diced tomatoes. Mom used fresh tomatoes that she just cut up, but I'm going with canned for convenience. We'll refill the can with water and add that. Then another optional ingredient, a fresh chili for a bit of kick. I removed about half the seeds, so it's not going to be hot, just mildly tingly. We'll season with freshly cracked pepper, then leave this to simmer. Picadillo can be served as saucy as you like. I prefer it with just a little bit of sauce, so we're going to let this cook until the veg are tender and most of the liquid's boiled off. Let's see how our picadillo is doing. It looks about right where I want it. Saucy, but not soupy. It's time for the finishing touches. But before we get to that, I'm first going to give this a taste. The veg are perfect. Soft, not mushy, but as I suspected, it needs a bit more salt. Now I'm going to take out a couple of scoops for my wife T and daughter Nova. They're not huge fans of what's about to come next. And that's frozen peas. Nova hates them with a passion. And raisins. Both T and Nova hate them. For me though, picadillo is not picadillo without these things. So I'm happy. We're going to let this cook a final minute just to warm those peas through and rehydrate the raisins. Then we'll be ready to serve. See you in a beat. And here we are, fresh off the stove, Filipino-style picadillo. Normally at this point, I'd garnish the dish to make it pretty, but Mom never did that, and I figure I've deviated enough from her recipe we can let it go. So on with the flyby. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons before you go. And if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for the next video, drop them below. See you next time.